Daryl R. Conner, Managing at the Speed of Change, How Resilient Managers Succeed and Prosper Where Others Fail. In today's fast-paced world, everyone faces change in different forms, ranging from personal to organizational, and even on a global scale. The book Managing at the Speed of Change by Daryl R. Conner offers insight into the psychological impact of change and provides practical methods to help individuals and organizations successfully adapt. The author introduces 8 principles of change, focusing particularly on resilience as the key to thriving in our ever-changing environment. By understanding the roles of sponsors, agents, targets, and advocates in change processes, readers can learn to manage transitions effectively.
Mastering change. Change is an inevitable and often disruptive part of life. Unfortunately, many people find it challenging and overwhelming, leading to emotional and physical distress. To successfully manage change, it is crucial to understand how it works. In this book, the author lays out 8 principles of change that lead to resilience, the most critical factor in adapting to new circumstances. By learning these principles, readers can develop the personal traits needed to deal with change and thrive in times of uncertainty. The ability to manage change is essential for personal happiness, organizational success, and a healthy planet. Coping with change. In Future Shock, Alvin Toffler explains how the modern world bombards individuals with various changes that come at a faster pace and larger scale than ever before. These changes fall into 3 categories: micro, organizational, and macro. Individuals have a limited number of assimilation points that they must budget carefully since they cannot differentiate between changes in categories. The problem is not change itself, but people's perception of it. Any change that leads to the belief that one is losing control of their life will look major. To cope with change, focus on its personal consequences and the reactions of those around you. Embracing change. Change can create ambiguity which makes people uncomfortable and resistant to change. However, managers can help their employees deal with change by reducing ambiguity. Psychologist Kurt Lewin proposed a 3-stage model to explain how change progresses: the present state, the transition state, and the desired state. The present state is characterized by stability, and people need an incentive to willingly abandon it. The transition state involves moving towards a remedy to alleviate pain or pursue an opportunity. The desired state is the new status quo that must be established. People only make and sustain major changes when they can no longer afford the status quo. Change involves pain, but managers can help their employees by communicating the urgency of the situation and listening to their fears and misgivings about the change process. Ultimately, embracing change is crucial for growth and success in any organization. The 4 vital roles in change initiatives. Change is an ambiguous venture, and individuals must be willing to take up specific roles for successful implementation. In change initiatives, the 4 roles are sponsors, agents, targets, and advocates. Sponsors are the organizational decision-makers who have the power to legitimize change and require a clear vision to monitor the process. Agents implement the change, targets act on it, while advocates persuade and educate about the change. The success of a change initiative depends on filling all 4 roles, but the role of sponsors is most crucial in implementing the required resources. Change is challenging for everyone involved, and significant cost is essential for its achievement. The resilience factor. Psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's 7 stages of grief can be applied to managing change. Resilience is key to reframing change as a manageable process. It's crucial to manage hearts and minds to handle resistance to change. Teach skills needed for successful change and address employee concerns. There are micro, organizational, and macro changes, and people should express their resistance. Employee responses differ from uninformed optimism to informed pessimism. Resilience is fundamental to turn change into an understandable plan. Embracing change. Change is inevitable, and accepting it is not enough. you must commit to it fully. Commitment comes in stages: preparation, understanding, and finally, commitment. During each stage, strive for clarity, view the change positively, test it and assess if it will provide the benefits you desire. Once you confirm that the change is worthwhile, commit your time, resources, and attention. To thrive during times of great change, take advantage of the mechanisms that foster resilience by guiding others through the stages of embracing change. The significance of corporate culture in change management. Corporate culture shapes the identity of a group and governs how things are done. An organization's culture evolves over time as a response to situational changes, and its main goal is to preserve and reproduce itself. Whenever a company undergoes a change, it must align its culture with its goals, otherwise, change initiatives are likely to fail. It is vital to plan the desired corporate culture and how to achieve it, particularly after a merger where cultures interact. Two cultures may merge to form a hybrid, but one may reject the other, leading to a failure of change management. When the corporate culture aligns with the change initiative, the initiative is more likely to succeed. A culture functions similarly to a living thing, always adapting to its environment. Therefore, organizations must maintain a culture that suits the people working for them and their business objectives to achieve success. The 3 ways of working together. Successful collaboration among workers can be achieved through 3 ways of working together: negative, static, and synergy. The negative and static ways result in less than desirable outcomes that are difficult to change, whereas synergy leads to better results and solid group dynamics. In order to achieve synergy, workers must possess both the desire and skills to work together. As a manager, it is important to create an open environment that encourages communication, allows everyone to express their ideas, while holding off on judgments. Listening to employees and empowering them is essential in building a culture of trust and cooperation. To avoid dysfunctional behavior within an organization, both employees and managers must learn to communicate clearly, listen with respect, and anticipate where interactions are headed while monitoring group dynamics and shutting down disruptive activities. Mastering the art of resilience. Resilience is a valuable trait that successful individuals possess. Although it may be partly innate, it can also be developed over time. Rather than fearing change, view it as a chance for growth. By planning and identifying the assimilation points required for each change, you can increase your success rate. Attitude is an influential tool in managing change. Establishing a positive and empowering environment, clear scopes of authority and communication can improve your chances of success. Nevertheless, some individuals may remain resistant to change, regardless of your efforts to educate them. It is important to answer their questions, show how the change can meet their demands, and help them understand the bigger picture. However, if they remain stubborn, it may be best to move forward without them. Ultimately, successful change management requires everyone involved to be committed to fulfilling the goals of the change and paying the price.
In conclusion, Managing at the Speed of Change equips readers with the knowledge and tools to effectively handle change in their personal and professional lives. Emphasizing the importance of resilience, the book presents practical strategies to ease transitions, manage resistance, and support commitment to new norms. Aligning the change process with organizational culture and understanding the various roles involved, such as sponsors, agents, targets, and advocates, are crucial aspects of successful change management. By fostering a supportive and empowered environment, individuals and organizations can enhance their adaptability and thrive in the midst of constant change.